taking the new chaperones into town and leaving them there, driving off.
Like that's how we did it.
Yeah, she couldn't pull. I chaperoned band camp a couple of times. She couldn't pull any of that on me because I knew it all. I'm like, I know all your tricks,
to
woman.
do this and started looking at flights and stuff, and then as like stuff started getting, we're like, this is way too expensive.
When we were looking at spring break, like a lot of people, they're going down to Mexico. So we were looking at senior year, a lot of his friends. But
The prompt, okay.
partly that it was our, none of us had, I have an old passport, but it's expired. So we all need passports. And to
I
do
think
that
I
in a
will
rush
read
was
it
going to be
just
like
once
a
at the very
grand.
beginning.
Super expensive.
And then
And
it
I
will
was
stay
like,
up there.
well, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And then when we looked at the cost just for
Yes,
the
yep.
resort, was not ridiculous.
Oh,
but
okay,
I mean, we had
gotcha.
in the thousands of this. And
how are you?
flights, 'cause I can't drive there. So
Are you there or are you here?
you're talking about 4 people flying.
Yep.
Is that Lori?
It was like,
Oh, no, that's great.
would have been 8
Hey, sorry, you're usually
like 10.
Do you want me to sit there?
Don't have that much.
You sit wherever you want.
You tell me
She's
where.
not here, so you can, whatever.
I think it's.
I mean, she's coming. She's on her way, but.
Okay. For 4 people.
You can sit.
And we can cook, we've got our kitchen and, we can do all that stuff.
Have I seen you since we went to Vegas? I saw these Elvis things. Every time I saw Elvis, I thought of you.
Oh, well, good.
In fact, Priscilla Presley was at the concert we went to.
How fun was it to see Oakland?
I was pretty excited
in
about
there.
that.
602, okay.
That's like,
Sorry, Lori had an appointment that ended at
It's kind of
5:45,
hometown.
so.
oh, it is
isn't it?
for us, yeah.
So we're kind of
There
on the
she
same
is.
schedule.
I mean, until I was, we moved.
Hello.
We moved when I was like 12 to our house.
We're all good.
Before that, we
Deep
lived
breath, we're
in
good.
an apartment
Jason
in
just
a
walked in,
townhouse
so
on the north side of town there. And that literally like just a few miles to OU, like that's down the road, down Walton.
Nice.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, Purdue.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 7-minute lull.
Remember a week ago you had that
I want to make sure Lori gets a chance to get logged in.
Get
Top
past
seed
the first
jitters.
round, it was like-
I think we're all here now, so I think we can probably get started anytime soon.
All right, good evening, everybody. We will go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. It doesn't have introductions on here, but we will go ahead and do introductions anyway. So, Mr. Scaletta,
Bill Scaletta.
Lori Van Koenig.
Greg Eating.
Rachel Wade.
Jason Beckrow.
Scott Allen.
Griffin Ott.
Okay, welcome everybody. The first item on our agenda is to approve our agenda. So, board members, if there are no changes or questions, I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, next would be approval of the minutes from our March 11th regular meeting. If there are no questions or changes, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, now what you're all really here for, Board of Education reports and/or action, board member vacancy interviews and appointment. As we all know, when Kevin Bouchou moved out of the district, he had to leave his position, and so we have a spot open that we are going to be interviewing 4 candidates for this evening. The candidates did all fill out a questionnaire and an application, that was the word I was looking for, and we all have had a chance to review the answers to all of those from our candidates. In addition, each candidate has been given a prompt, and they will be given 5 minutes to respond to that prompt for us. And then once that is done, we will go through our deliberation process and decide who our new Board of Education member will be. Board members, we're all good? Understand our assignments? Okay, what I will do first is read the prompt so that those of you in the room who aren't the candidates know what they will be answering, and then we will ask them to come up one at a time.
I just have one addition. We did have 5 applicants, and 1 dropped out today. Sent me an email to drop out today. So we will just be doing 4, and then I'm going to go up and put the prompt right up on the PowerPoint so that it's there for everyone to see.
So this is the prompt. Serving on the Board of Education can be an enjoyable and rewarding experience, especially when given the opportunity to work collaboratively with a group of people towards common goals. How do you envision yourself working as a collaborative member of our board? What skills, experiences, and viewpoints would you provide for our board? What would be an example of a common goal for the district that you could 100% support? And so we will be inviting the candidates to respond. Only reason I have my phone here is for the 5-minute timer, just so that people know that. And they will be going in the order in which their applications were submitted. So we will start with Jessica Bigley. And my timer will start when you do.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Bigley, and it is with great excitement and much humility that I stand before you today to share my reasons for seeking a position on the Lakeshore School Board. My journey in education has been diverse and enriching one, spanning across various levels from my current role in early childhood administration to teaching and coaching students. These experiences have provided me with a deep understanding of the importance of quality education and an impact in shaping individuals and communities. As a supporter of public education, I firmly believe that when our schools thrive, the entire community prospers. It is this belief that drives my desire to contribute to the Lakeshore School Board and help shape the future of education in our district. As a collaborative member of any team, organization, or family, I believe it starts with showing respect to those around you. It is important to listen attentively to viewpoints of other board members, respect opinions, and have the willingness to seek first to understand, with the ability to listen to different perspectives and be open to new ideas. In terms of skills, experiences, and viewpoints, my background in education has equipped me with a unique perspective on the needs and challenges faced by students, educators, and families on different stages of their academic journey. With my bachelor's in elementary education and a master's in educational leadership from Western Michigan University, my journey in education spans across various levels. I'm currently working in early childhood administration, but have previously taught and coached students from pre-K to college. For the past 4 years, I have been the director of First Church Preschool, an early childhood program serving around 130 families throughout the year. Having this position during the COVID pandemic has tremendously taught me how to make critically informed decisions that impact students, families, and the community. I have spent time learning more about Lakeshore Public Schools and what they stand for by serving as a room parent in the classrooms for over the past 8 years, volunteering in the Hollywood Elementary School office with Joan Peden, and signing up for any and all opportunities that allow me to be a part of the school district, even if it meant being covered with cotton candy from head to toe. I also serve as a small group leader for middle school girls from Lakeshore Middle School. And if you know anything about me, mentoring a group of 6th grade girls is way outside of my comfort zone. I strongly believe that they teach me more than I could ever teach them. With those experiences in mind, one common goal for the district that I wholeheartedly support is the commitment to providing a well-rounded education that focuses on developing students as whole individuals. This includes not only academic excellence, but also social and emotional growth, critical thinking, and lifelong learning skills. By nurturing the whole person, we can empower our students to navigate the complexities of a modern world with confidence and resilience. I believe Lakeshore District is already on the right path to creating and offering diverse opportunities for students and educators to grow and succeed. I am eager to contribute my skills, experiences, and passion for education to further enhance these efforts and ensure that Lakeshore remains a beacon of excellence in our community. After attending the last school board meeting and hearing all the encouraging stories, something that really stood out to me was a quote from Mr. Scaletta. saying that by being a part of the Lakeshore School Board, he had thought he had died and gone to heaven. This is an organization, team, and community that I would be honored to serve. As I stand here today, I want to emphasize that my hope to serve on the Lakeshore School Board is rooted in a genuine desire to contribute meaningfully to our schools and development of our students, educators, and community. I take this opportunity very seriously and am honored to be considered for a position within the organization that is rooted in tradition and committed to excellence. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next candidate is James Organ.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for the consideration. I appreciate it. So sorry. I'm a bit of a stage fright. I apologize. Firstly, on the I believe that collaboration is core in effective governance. I do see myself as a team player who values all stakeholders involved, whether that be the students, parents, faculty, and fellow board members. I do believe in open communication and active listening and consensus building to ensure that decisions are made in the best interest of our students, teachers, and the community as a whole. In terms of skills and experience, my background in nursing and parenting equips me to contribute in meaningful perspectives to the board. I understand that educational challenges and opportunities exist, and I'm committed to fostering an environment where every student can thrive, academically as well as socially. I'm committed to learning and working with the existing board members, community members, students, faculty members, and parents alike to establish areas of growth that may present themselves and work collaboratively with everyone involved to reach a solution that everyone can be proud of. Keeping our children at the center of every decision we make is key to their growth and development. As for viewpoints, I bring a diverse perspective shaped in my lived experience as a parent and moreover a foster parent and an adoptive parent. My husband and my family moved to Florida for 4.5 years. We just recently moved back. We came back to this area. We had other options. We came back to this area for Lakeshore Schools. That was at the heart of our decision. Sorry, I lost my place here. I am passionate about equity and inclusion and diversity within the school system. I think it's a very important role that the school and school board does play to allow students to live within that diversity and be who they themselves. An example of a common goal for the district that I wholeheartedly support is equitable access to quality education for all students. This means addressing disparities in resources, opportunities, and outcomes, and implementing initiatives to close achievement gaps and promote academic excellence across the board. In conclusion, I am committed to working collaboratively with fellow board members, administrators, educators, and parents, and students to uphold the highest standards of the educational excellence and equity that Lakeshore Schools provide. Thank you so much for considering my candidacy.
Thank you. I'm clearing out my timers here. Okay, next up is Ken Jennings.
Hi, I'm Ken. So some of the most transformative projects that I've been involved in my professional life involved working collaboratively with people of diverse viewpoints and unique skill sets. And I think the most important foundation upon which you can build those kind of working relationships is when you come into a room to work with people, always assume that everyone you're working with has positive intent. That's the hugest thing. You can, politics are always going to be there. Ideology is always going to be there. But if you can leave those things at the door and come into it to work toward a common goal, those things are huge. and the kind of transformation you can create under those circumstances is really amazing. And at the heart of collaboration is that foundation of trust among other people that you can. What's next? So I'm a cybersecurity professional in my work life. Kind of an unrepentant tech nerd overall. I kind of eat, sleep, and breathe cybersecurity and tech in general. One of my biggest passions is actually, I'm kind of a wonk, really. If I come across something that I'm not familiar with or that I have not seen before, I read the technical documentation. You know, new stereo, read the manual. So I learn everything I can about a topic, so that I can speak intelligently about it, because really that's, you know, that's what you do. In particular, one of the most transformative experiences of my life has been being the father of my son. He is currently in treatment for childhood leukemia, doing great though. And the learning about all of those things was really a huge experience for me. Becoming an expert in things that I had no idea existed, and learning to defer to the professionals, because as a parent, I really wanted to. I know what's best for my son. I know exactly what he needs, and learning to defer to the professionals was a huge experience for me. That's something I've struggled with my entire adult life, and I've finally gotten to the point where I think the most important skill an adult and a parent can have is to defer to the professionals. We all have opinions and ideas about what's best, but at the end of the day, that's what professionals are for. Like I said, I'm a cybersecurity professional. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not an educational professional, but I want to learn about these things, and I figured this was an excellent opportunity to do that. And I think a goal that I could 100% support, I mean, there's a lot of things I could 100% support, but a big one would be mental health resources for students. That's one of my huge passions, is childhood mental health. And you hear in the news a lot about there being, you know, a childhood mental health, you know, epidemic or something like that. But really, I think students just need someone to listen to. They need to have access to resources and access to professionals who can help them become people. They're just learning how to be people, and that's a hard thing to do. And that's all I had. Thanks.
Thank you. And last is Holly Goodline.
Good evening. My name is Holly Goodline, and I currently have a son in the 5th grade at Lakeshore Public Schools and a 2-year-old daughter at home, along with 2 bonus kids that are in college. I applied for the open seat on the Board of Education to be an advocate for all current and future Lancers, to get the best public education possible, and to make sure that all students are getting an equitable education. How do you envision yourself working as a collaborative member of the board? Working as a collaborative member of the board involves fostering an environment built on trust, mutual respect, understanding, and a shared purpose. This requires establishing clear roles and responsibilities, ensuring effective communication channels are in place, conducting regular evaluations to assess progress, and creating a code of civility to guide our interactions. Collaboration itself entails multiple individuals working together towards one common objective. As a collaborative board member, the focus is on cultivating a positive and productive relationship that drives the success and increases student achievement. I believe that by embodying these principles, I can contribute significantly to the collective efforts and achievements that this board is putting in place. What skills, experience, and viewpoints would you provide for our board? Education is more than just a profession to me. It's my passion and calling. My extensive background in the educational field, particularly as a teacher within the public school systems between Indiana and Michigan, have equipped me with a wealth of experience and insight. The diverse range of skills that I have honed throughout my teaching journey, such as effective communication, critical thinking, patience, leadership, adaptability, all highlight my dedication to the educational excellence and success of students. These skills would be a great contribution to my dedication to this board as well. My academic achievements include holding a bachelor's degree in the arts and a master's degree in educational leadership from Western Michigan University, along with currently holding an admin license for the state of Michigan. My presence on the Board of Education promises a blend of expertise, passion, and a deep understanding of the educational landscape. I believe my unique perspective and commitment to fostering a supportive educational community would make me a truly indispensable asset to the Lakeshore Public Schools Board of Education. And what would be an example of a common goal for the district that you could 100% support? When looking at the school's district improvement plan, the number one goal, which I can 1,000% stand by and support, is that all students will be proficient in reading. During the last school board election, during the candidate forum, I stated that we were using a failing ELA curriculum. That showed to be true. I am very excited with the new curriculum director that is in place and knowing that our ELA curriculum is going to be improving. But this is something that is deep, it's personal for me with my children. I think that every student at Lakeshore deserves the best reading curriculum possible. They all deserve to be able to go to middle school and to high school and beyond and to read. And unfortunately, some of our students are not there because of the curriculum we were using. I am very hopeful that my daughter will not have the same issues that my son had, and I am very excited for all the things that seem to be falling into place with the district and the curriculum. But this is a goal that I 1,000% stand by because I believe every child should have the ability to read no matter what. My biggest reason to be standing in front of you again after an election is the person that is in this room and would not let me come but myself. He is my reason. He is my reason to be here. He is my reason to continue to make appointments with his principal, with the current curriculum director, with anyone that will meet with me that will listen. You might not see me at every board meeting, but I have had
15 seconds. Just wanted to warn you.
Thank you. Lots of meetings with people behind the scenes. I am dedicated to this district. My kids are dedicated to this district, and I want the best for them and every student, and I will continue to be an advocate for all students. Thank you.
All right, those were our candidates. So the way I'd like to kind of approach our deliberation process, as I said, you all have been able to look at the applications, and now after hearing the responses to the prompts, just kind of go across to every board member and ask, who are your top 1 or 2 candidates, and what are the reasons? And then just kind of start to see if we can build a consensus from there. Sound like a good plan? All right, we're going to start this way with Bill.
Pressure's on, huh? Okay. Jessica Bigley was the first person we had in our pile, alphabetically, and the first one to apply. The first thing I saw that, from her answers, they were insightful, that she was well qualified. And I also like the early childhood background that she has. It's one of the reasons I never became assistant superintendent, because I didn't have that strength either. So we need to have those strengths. So Jessica Bigley would be my number one choice. I think Holly's very qualified too with her ed leadership background. And we all are supportive of improving our reading. So if we can do those two things, get kids to read, they're going to do better on standardized tests too. So.
Thank you. Mrs. Von Koenig. I should have called you Mr. Scaletta. I'm sorry. Mrs. Von Koenig.
Okay. I thought Jessica did a nice job at bringing out the background that she has proven experience with the daycare, especially in reference to the things that everyone went through in 2020. I think that is important. I appreciated the early education background also that Bill mentioned. I really appreciate the passion that Holly brought about the proficiency in reading, and that's something that we've worked on very hard, and we've made some great progress. And I want to get the right names. James, I appreciate James mentioning about consensus building and having all the stakeholders be a part of that. And I really appreciate his support of diversity, inclusion, and equity. And then with Ken, he had I like what he said about foundation of trust, because you don't come to the board as an individual. You are part of a group, and it's very important that we are considering things, and we may disagree, but at the end, we have to have consensus. And so I really appreciated that, and the fact that he said there has to be a foundation of trust. We have to be able to trust the people that we're working with for the good of all the kids.
And so would you say that you listed those in order, or who would be your
Yes,
top preference?
I
Okay.
would, yes.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Beckrow.
Yeah, this is really great that we have 4 outstanding candidates, right? And so the difficulty in the decision is trying to find. Everyone brings something really, really positive. I love how I think everyone spoke about, as I sit in this room, I remember when we were, some of us weren't on the board yet, but many of us that were when we were selecting a superintendent, right? And that search that yielded Mr. Eating and the concept of all means all. And I think everyone spoke to that, inclusion, and not how we're doing for this segment, but for all of our students. So having all 4 candidates really speak to that. You've got great diversity, and we have 2 educators in the pool. James brings a health background in nursing, and computers and cybersecurity. I liked how you talked about foundation of trust. I think you also mentioned assuming best intent, right? And so, no, I don't think we can go wrong here. I know probably, get our names here. Yeah, Jessica, again, having the background in education and working with kids now, I think speaks to me. And then again, with James's background in public health, those are 2 things that really, I would highly value. So I'd support, ranking those.
Sure.
I'd like to celebrate both those candidates.
Thank you. Mr. Allen.
I'd like to thank all the applicants. As Dr. Beckrow said, I think it's great that we have such a great group of people willing to step up and apply, and that's not an easy task for anyone. It takes a lot of courage to do that. It says a lot about our community. Just every single applicant had wonderful things to say. I think we all easily are picking out things that stood out to us. To me, it really comes down to who I feel like is going to be representing the district the best. And so the 2 people that kind of stood out was Jessica Bigley, obviously educator, early childhood development being very important to the district, volunteering within the district, all those things are important, showing the willingness to take part. And then Holly Goodline has shown that she's trying to work within this district. She's done a lot of things. She has all of the similar backgrounds as Jessica. So to me, those 2 are very equal in what they're presenting, and would be the top 2 that I would say would do well on the board.
Thank you. Mr. Ott.
Well, everybody's taken the words I had to say, so I'll make mine short and sweet. But thank you to all the candidates again. It's not easy to get up and do what you did tonight. Some of us have been in that seat before, and we know what it's like, and it's not easy or fun sometimes, but kudos to you. I think we can't go wrong in this decision. One thing that really stood out to me is that all the candidates have a very strong vested interest in having their own children here, and that's their why. And their why is also for all of the other kids in the district, and that's our why too. So with that being said, I think my top two candidates would be Jessica and Holly.
Similar to what you said, yeah, this is the benefit of being able to go last. Everyone has said the same highlights and comments that I would say about our list of candidates. As I was taking notes while they were speaking, I think every single person said something that deeply resonated with me, and they were all very different, which, to your point, Jason, doesn't make the decision any easier, because there were good things in everyone. And again, as many of you have said, the passion is there. It's clear that folks are wanting to serve for the right reasons, and that it's about helping our district succeed, which ultimately helps our community succeed, because we can't exist outside of the community. I would agree with folks that I think Jessica would be my number one candidate. I think she had a lot of good things to say. I appreciated her comment about the common goal around students as whole people, because we know every time we have to sit in a disciplinary hearing, those students aren't there in front of us because of academic challenges, usually, right? They're there because of all the other things going on in their lives. And to help them succeed, we need to be thinking about them as whole people in all areas of their life. But definitely did appreciate comments from all of the candidates. And as I said, very different things that I took away from each person that I really appreciated. So that's my thought. Kind of moving forward, and I've just been keeping tally of what everyone said. It sounds like we're all in agreement that Jessica Bigley would be our top candidate, the strong candidate that we would choose for this position. That's just kind of what I'm hearing based on the tally marks as we were talking. Is there anyone who would disagree with that, or who would argue with me on that? Argue's not the right word, but you know what I mean. All right, well, if everyone is okay with that, I've got to look if this is a roll call motion or not.
Yes.
I'm sure it would be too.
Yep.
Okay. I will read the actual wording just to make sure that we're all, that everyone in the room knows exactly what this says. Whereas a vacancy has been caused on this Board of Education by reason of a resignation, and whereas this Board of Education has by law authority to fill a vacancy for the partial term thereof, now therefore be it resolved by a majority vote of all of the remaining members of the Board of Education of the Lakeshore Public School District that, and the name would be Jessica Bigley, be and hereby is appointed to serve as a member of the Board of Education of Lakeshore Public Schools for the unexpired term of Kevin Bushu, ending when the November 5th, 2024 election results have been certified. So that would be our resolution. If there aren't any other questions or comments, I would accept a motion.
So moved.
Support.
So this is roll call. So Mr. Scletta?
Aye.
Mrs. Von Koenig?
Aye.
Dr. Beckrow?
Aye.
Mr. Allen?
Aye.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay. Last item on the agenda is public comment. Did we have anyone register for public comment?
We do not.
Nope. Okay, then the actual last item of business would be to adjourn the meeting. So I would,
Can I
oh yes, please,
add
go ahead.
one tiny comment? So just would say to any of the candidates that were out today that didn't get appointed, that if you, we often have seats that do arise, and then we also have seats that open up over the course of the year. So if that's something that you want to do, I would just suggest reaching out to myself I'd be more than happy to have coffee or lunch or something like that with you and kind of explain a little bit more of the process of being on the board, answer any questions that you might have, and then establish a relationship over the next time as well, just so that I can, any questions that might arise when things do come up, you have a contact already in place. So just wanted to open that up for everybody too.
Yes, I thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Also, all the rest of us on the Board of Education are willing to have any conversations and answer any questions. I know some of our candidates from tonight did reach out and ask some questions and kind of want to know about the role a little bit more. So we are always happy to be of service in that way as well. All right, now I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support?
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, thank you very much, everybody.